Hello and welcome to the first of our little informal recorded chats. The idea of these sessions is basically to tell you a little bit more about the inside of our brains, breaking the news to you now, Claire, kind of how we think about dogs, how our philosophy works when we're training dogs, and why we offer the kind of sessions that we do. It also means that if you haven't met us, and I'm going to do introductions in a second, that you've got a chance to find out a little bit more about us and how we work and who we are before you give us your hard-earned money. So welcome to Well Connected Canine, the series of random chats, because they haven't got a funky name yet. They will by the next one. I'm Morag, this is Claire.
Hello.
Jointly, we run Well Connected Canine. I'm slightly more used to talking randomly at cameras and non-existent people. Claire is entirely not. She lectures to real live students in front of her. So yeah, this is all going to be
all new to me,
a little bit weird.
Scary.
Yeah, she's doing well, I think. I should have brought chocolate actually so I could reinforce her. So Well Connected Canine is a little company in York. We offer everything from puppy classes through to behaviour consults and specialist workshops, and the whole reason we do what we do is we want you to have a better relationship with your dog, and we think the best way of you doing that is doing stuff with your dog. Training, activities, sports, fun stuff in general. Thanks, dogs, for settling behind us so appropriately. And alongside that, we're qualified dog trainers, we're animal behaviourists, and we have our own little areas of expertise. And today, we are mostly talking about breeds, so different breed types, why their needs might be the same or different, and therefore why we're offering a wee bit of a different take on some of our usual training programs. So I'm going to get Claire to tell you a little bit about the dogs that she knows and has lived with, and then I'll chip in again, and then we'll get going.
Okay. So dogs that I have lived with, a big variety of dogs. Some of them I've lived with all of their lives, or they've lived with me all of their lives, and some have just been for a short stay. So dogs that have stayed with me for all of their lives are Harley, who's a mixed breed Shepherdy type, Poppy, a working Cocker Spaniel, Beano, a deaf-blind collie, Spencer, a German Shepherd, and lastly, Summer, a flat coat retriever. So they're all the dogs that have stayed with me all of their lives.
And Scout. Don't forget
And
Scout.
Scout.
Mustn't forget one of
Scout,
your
the deaf
dogs.
border collie as well. Oh my God, it's daunting being on camera.
Yeah.
Those guys have been with me all of their lives. They've taught me lots of things. I've learnt lots of things from them, but I've also been lucky enough to have lots of foster dogs come and live with me as well. So puppies, and again, a variety of different breeds. I've had quite a lot of staffy puppies and all sorts. So yeah, they're the dogs that have lived with me.
So a good range of breed experience.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Hardy breeds and gun dogs.
Yeah, hardy breeds and gun dogs, and then some extra bonus staffies around the edges. And I've mostly lived with herding breeds or herding breed crosses. So I grew up with collies and bearded cross-border collie crosses, mountain rescue search dogs, varieties thereof, and that's who all my adopted dogs have been until Laird arrived, who was a monstrous GWP, German wire-haired pointer, and a hunt point retrieve, which is a whole new ballgame. And I remember Claire and I having a conversation actually several years ago, and we were talking about Freya, my little kind of worky type border collie, and Poppy, your working Cocker Spaniel, and the fact that if you were to describe what they were like and people didn't know what breed they were,
see them.
Yeah, you couldn't see them. You wouldn't. There was nothing that was nothing that really told you, apart from maybe Poppy's kind of quartering and rushing around behaviour.
Yeah.
And Freya tends to do sort of more outruns, but other than that, their annoying characteristics, their tendency to obsess over things, their kind of levels of working interest, that was actually...
When they're out and working, they're
really absolutely on.
And together...
They are a fearsome team.
Yes.
We're not even going to talk about that, but they are a fearsome team together. So I guess our initial approach to puppies and adult dogs was that dogs are dogs first. And they have fundamental life skills that we think all dogs need, which is what we teach in puppy foundations
classes,
puppy life skills. But I think the more time we spend getting to know the details of our dogs, and the more we see the range of breeds that come through classes, the more you start to see that, they are a dog first and foremost. But then they're also their kind of breed type. Not so much that they are a staffy or they are a collie or they are a husky, but like you said, a lot of your dogs would fall under the category of gundog types or herding breed types. And that's actually where we think there might be some important differences. So if I asked you to tell me what's the thing that springs to mind when someone says gundog type of breed, what are the kind of characteristics you'd expect?
So if it was a dog that was coming to puppy classes, for example, and I know it's a gundog breed, I know that we would be working all the normal fundamental stuff with them, but I might expect them to say, my puppy keeps stealing all my stuff, and they're reluctant to give it back. So that might be one of the things that I might be expecting from a gundog breed. Other things might be they might struggle to settle at home. So they might settle well in their crate or something like that, but out of the crate, they're running around all of the time, they're mouthing, they're on the back of the sofa, the joys.
They're on your head.
Yes. So again, that's another thing that I might often hear from the owner of a gundog, and I don't think that's necessarily that different if it was a collie owner. That would be coming.
No, although I think the gundog might be more likely to pick stuff up and run around and show you.
Yeah.
Whereas the collie, if they pick stuff up, is largely going to take it away and go, it's mine. Whether that's because they want to keep it or whether it's because they're using it as a way of getting you to pay attention because they've already figured out that you can't resist them when they pick the remote control up. I think you're just slightly less likely to get the delighted bringing of a thing. No, it's mine, thanks. I'll sit over here with it.
Yeah. And I think in many cases, we know that the let's take, for example, the flat coat retriever, because I have one, they are likely to pick it up and bring it back to you. But if we keep taking the thing off them, they might learn the same as the collie did to start with. I'm not bringing it back anymore. So they can quickly learn the stuff that we don't necessarily. Go wrong. It can go wrong quite quickly. So our expectation is going to be that the retriever is going to pick things up. It's going to happen regardless. So how we deal with it and how we talk to the owner about in puppy class is going to matter. So
rather than trying to teach your retriever to not pick stuff up, instead you might go, oh, it's amazing, you picked stuff up. And I'm going to reward you when you bring it back to me because it's nice that you picked it up and you brought it back.
Yeah.
Because asking them to not pick it up is a bit like asking a lot of collies to not show any herding behaviour. Short of a lobotomy, it's just not going to happen. It's more about how you shape it and channel it,
That's absolutely right.
And when we say gun dogs, we also mean the gun dog crosses.
Yeah, a lot of the...
So the poodles and the poos and the oodles and the ochres and the every other which way combination.
There's a lot of different...
Yeah, I'm not even going to try and list them all. And those dogs, the thing is, you might get a bit of a surprise because you might not know whether the dog that you're getting is going to have a lot of those kind of natural instincts, that stuff that nobody really needs to teach them because the circuits are already primed in their brain. So it might be that somebody has, I don't know, a poodle cross spaniel or something, and it's pretty chilled, it's laid back, it happens to have come from, kind of sit at the home on the sofa lines, and someone else has exactly the same breed mix, and it's a crazy
bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, it's a crazy little retrieving demon.
Yeah.
Because actually poodles are kind of working dogs, they're water retrievers, and we just crossed it with a working cocker spaniel and surprise! That's just like a bundle of energy right there. So when we think about those differences, we're also thinking about them in the crossbreeds as well.
Yeah. Definitely included.
And I guess as well, this is not to say, so we're trying really hard not to stereotype by breed, because we're not saying that things are absolutely definite because your dog is a specific breed. And we're not saying that you can't teach them to do pretty much anything that you want, because it might just be a little bit more interesting or challenging
to teach a collie to do gundog stuff. We like a challenge.
So it might not come as naturally. They might not just do it themselves, in the same way that if you want your spaniel to do a beautiful outrun round a group of either sheep or cattle or inflated balls if you're playing sheep ball, your spaniel might think there's something a bit weird. Why are you asking me? We could totally teach them to do it. It's just that it wouldn't have been their first instinct.
So it might be a little bit harder work for you as a trainer, and you might have to think a bit outside the box. Whereas if you're doing gundog work with a spaniel, things are probably going to come more naturally and more easy for you to do with that dog.
And I have to say, going from collies to now living with Laird, who he's intense and enthusiastic, but I don't know. He doesn't seem like he's massively worky drivey. So I think he's, for all his size and enthusiasm, quite a gentle introduction. But his attitude to things is really different. It's really, really different. And I know that's partly because he's big, but even just what he wants to do with stuff, and like the picking up and the throwing and the offering it. You know, none of my collies have ever done that kind of thing. They just, or if they do, they bring it, they spit it out, and they make it very clear.
Throw it.
I'm telling you what to do. Whereas he's just like, look, I've got a thing. Which I think is interesting. And so because of that, we are developing baby gun dog sessions, which is to help people on top of your basic puppy education. What we're saying is
all dogs need to know.
But there's also going to be those things that you might be more likely to see because you've got this kind of puppy. And rather than waiting until they're older and they've learned to not give stuff up or guard it from you, or you're in a constant battle because they want to be diving off in the undergrowth, well, we want to start that early on. And it doesn't have to be that you want to work your dog.
This is just added training into what you're already doing, and the aim is that we try and make it as fun for you and your dog as possible, as with all our training that we do. Whether you want to work your dog later or not, there's some valuable life skills in what we're going to be doing.
So if you were going to do hunting, shooting, fishing, picking up whatever with your gun dog,
fishing with your gun dog,
well, you know, it's clearly not my area, is it? If you're going to do it, nothing we're teaching you or nothing we're going to cover is going to be a problem. But equally, it's fun and it's enough in itself to do it. So there's going to be baby gun dog workshops. They're going to be starting soon. And the next one is on the 20th of February, at 7:30 in the evening. But there will be more dates coming as well. But we also run, at the moment, monthly, essentially gun dog games workshops, which are sort of 3 hours.
3 hours, so they're either on a Saturday morning or a Saturday afternoon. And again, the principles are the same, whether you want to work your dog or not, just have fun with stuff that you know your dog is going to enjoy doing, then it's those same principles.
And what was really interesting is we are not breedist. So on the Gun Dog Games workshop, we had a terrier and we had a border collie, and then we had a bunch of spaniels and mixes and the laird, obviously, as well. And what I loved was when we were doing things like the stop whistle and everything else, the collie was like, I'm lying down.
Yeah, we talked about
why would I sit when there is the chance to be still? Because it just, for some collies, it's automatically lying down. Now, I've taught some herding breed workshops where we're looking at the herding dog version. So things like the kind of the eye and the stalk, and the fact that sometimes they get stuck in that and they don't know what to do. And that sort of reflexive response of, oh, there's movement. And what the collie types and the herding types want to do is maybe different from what the gun dogs want to do when something moves.
And the terrier.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. But on my herding breed workshop, I also had a spaniel just for fun. And the spaniel really didn't like this idea of doing a stop and a down. For them, stop and drop was like, but I sit.
Yes.
Why would I? And that was really interesting because that feels breedist to say it, but having seen the difference between Freya, who the down is just so automatic, she just folds,
it just hits the deck, it's done.
And yet Laird, it takes him about 5 seconds to remember to put his bum down.
Never mind.
If we're going to ask him to lie down, I'm here till next week. It's just not the same quick movement, I don't think.
And so for the thinking of in terms of breeding and what we've bred into them, then
absolutely. So, and that's what we mean by when we're talking about breed-specific characteristics and breed-specific workshops. It's not because your dog is not capable of learning anything. It's that for some kinds of dog, especially if they're from working lines and they've got that strongly in their background, essentially those circuits in their brain, those fixed action patterns are closer to the surface. They're more readily primed. It takes much less to kick off that herding instinct or the pointing or the flushing. I mean, it's not like we sit with a pointer and we clicker train it to lift its paw and point in the right direction, right? I mean,
they could do that, but
you could. It would take quite a long time.
Easier if it's just.
But you basically go for it. Either it shows that instinct in an instinct test, or it doesn't. And what we're saying is, when you're thinking about that kind of hardwired behavior in the brain, that's when most people could probably do with a little bit of extra help and support. And we would like you to work with the wiring. rather than trying to rewire your dog's brain.
How we can help you fit some of that workiness, that stuff that's already there, how we can help you make that fit into your dog into a pet home. Because for the farmer that's going to take the dog out and work the sheep, brilliant. If it's the collie that's herding the kids when you just want to get them out for the school run, not so good. So it's how we can take what's already there and we can help you channel that for good rather than evil. Yeah,
pretty much. Use that power for good. So that's a little bit about, I guess, breed-specific characteristics. I managed to not do too much science. See, I was good. And why we think that you can train any dog to do pretty much anything, but thinking about what's already wired in their brain is going to make your job a lot easier. If you have questions or comments, let us know. You can contact us through our names at wellconnectedcanine.co.uk. So Morag, Clare.
Without an I, but with an E.
Honestly, and I thought my name was complicated. So it's Morag or Clare at wellconnectedcanine.co.uk. And like I say, we've got a range of baby dog workshops, and we've also got monthly, or however often they end up being, herding dog and gun dog workshops. And most excitingly, we get to bring our own dogs to those workshops.
Really the only reason why we've organised them all.
Yeah,
so we get a chance to play with our own dogs.
Because the nice thing is that I think it's important that trainers get to work with a variety of breeds. So between fostering and rescue and everything else, and now we both live with gun dogs and herding breeds. So yeah, we get to compare it every day on our walks, and you go, oh, interesting.
Where's the spaniel? Oh, she's in the bushes. Where's the pointer? 2 fields away. Where are the collies? Oh, by my side.
Wondering why is everyone else not here as well? So yeah, thank you very much for listening. We are happy for feedback, constructive comments. Please say nice things. It's Claire's first time on proper camera, and she'll be doing it again very soon. All right, speak to you soon, guys. Bye.